Gosh, guys, I just found out this new breakout CDH deck. Wizards of the Coast does not want to let you see this list. So it plays Karona the False God, basically one of the strongest multicolored commanders of all time, right? Because you have to get all the colors in, and then it's a really good mid range deck. So it uses Ugin's Conjurant because it like scales with the game, right? It gets stronger as you play, and Alabaster Leech because like look at that stat line, right? And Chronotog can get really big, so use Chronotog. Um, and Goblin Firebug, because like a bear, like a red, that's crazy. That's crazy stats. Um, Rats of Wrath, so like if your opponent gives you something bad, you could get rid of it. Ruby Leech, because it again a red bear and first strike, it's crazy. Sapphire Leech, because a blue bear and flying is crazy. And Drenchite Leech, also just a really good card. Shinka Gatekeeper, so it's a 3/2 for 3, and that's like a really strong body. Abyssal Persecutor, 4 mana 6. Like, look at that. You're gonna beat down your opponent so fast. Daralore, 4 mana 4/4. Eater of Days, 4 mana 9/8. Like, your opponent can't keep up with that kind of value. Geistfield Scarecrow, again, a 4 mana 4/4. Like, people just, they don't understand, alright? Hired Giant, 4 mana 4/4, again. So, Iwamori of the Open Fist, it's a 4 mana 5/5. And what opponent is going to have a legendary creature in their hand? Like, not likely. Jade Leech, 4 mana 5/5. These stat lines are crazy. 4 mana 6/5. 4 mana 4/4. 4 mana 3/3. But, like, look, if you would assemble a contraption, you assemble 2 instead. That's crazy amounts of value. Wood Elemental can get, like, super big. Chimney Imp, like it's a 1 mana. So it makes an opponent put a card back on top of their library. So it like gums up their draw. Um, so Daunting Defender can like block for your clerics. That's super strong. Leveler's a 5 mana 10/10, so you basically just win the game. Sky Swallower, 5 mana 8/8, basically just wins you the game. Nightmare can get super big. Island Fash Shaquise, Jaconius, whatever. He's super big. Jokamunder, 7 mana 12/12. Can't deal with that kind of value. So Scornful Egotist may seem bad, but you can morph it, so it's actually good. Stratodon, so it's a and Draco, so they can cost like not a lot. Juju Bubble can gain you life, so you don't lose the game. Obelisk of Undoing, basically it can return a permanent that you control to your own hand, so you can get extra ETBs. Apocalypse Chime, if you look at the Homelands expansion, it's like a lot of really sweaty, broken cards. Like if we look at that, like Leeches, Sarah Aviary, Merchant Scroll, cards like that, it's not really fair if your opponent's able to play these cards, and so it's good to get rid of them. Razor Boomerang, it can deal a damage to a creature, so it's like a lot of value. Bottle of Solomon, so you can get a 5/5 Djinn for only 5 mana. That's like a lot of value, so that's good. Racolite, so it can prevent 1 damage for 8 mana total. And that's like a lot, like that could keep your creature from dying. Urza's Armory, so it prevents 1 damage to you every time a source would deal damage. So like if your opponent has a board full of squirrels, they can't do shit to you. So you basically have won the game. Aladdin's Ring can deal 4 damage to like anything, and 4 damage can like kill planeswalkers and stuff like that. Aladdin's Lamp is just really good card advantage. Disembowel is like a removal spell. One with nothing is good. Like if your opponent tries to like, if they have like a spell that's going to deal damage equal to the number of cards in your hand, it can stop that. Spell Blast can like counter spells. Break Open. So morph creatures are really scary. So it can get rid of morph creatures. Frantic Inventory is draw. And you get to draw more if you have more in your graveyard. Kavik Spite. So you sacrifice all your permanents, discard your hand, but if an opponent's at 5 life, it basically wins you the game. Mudhole, target player removes all land cards in his or her graveyard from the game. Because, like Lord Windgrace is like a problem commander for me. I don't really like that. Electrify is a good removal spell. Engulf the Shore is a good board wipe. Buy Your Silence is good removal. Fasting can gain you life. Dragon Tempest to bump up all your dragons. Suleiman's Legacy, so it can destroy all Djinns, which and Ifrits, which is like really important because the deck doesn't really have anything to deal with Djinns and Ifrits. Great Wall stops creatures with Planeswalk, because like why should they get value if you have planes, right? Security Detail can give you soldiers, and this is really good because like if your opponent attacks you and you have no creatures, then bam, you have a creature. Like what are they going to do about it? Sphere of Purity, if an artifact would deal damage to you, you prevent one of that damage. So like Shrine of Burning Rage can't hit you. That's like really well, it'll hit you for one less. It's really good. Battle of Wits is just like a good enchantment that can win you the game. If you have 200 cards in your deck. So like you'll get there. Coma Veil doesn't untap during so you enchant an artifact or creature and it doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So you basically just gotten a creature out of the game. Prism Array, so it enters with a crystal counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it, and you can remove a crystal counter to tap a creature, and you can use it to scry 3. So we have some good lands. We have Azorius Chancery, Azorius Guildgate, Boros Garrison, Boros Guildgate, Bottomless Vault, Cabal Coffers, because they can add like a ton of like a lot of mana. Corolla Toll, Croesus Catacombs, Duragaz Caldera, Dimir Aqueduct, Dimir Guildgate, Dormant Volcano, Dromar's Cavern, Dwarven Hold, because it can add like a lot of mana. Everglades, Forsaken City, Golgari, Guildgate, Golgari Rot Farm, Gruul Turf, Gruul Guildgate, Guildless Commons, Hollow Trees, Ictlan Store. Is it Boilerworks? Is it Guildgate, Jungle Basin, Karoo, Orzhov Basilica, Orzhov Guildgate, Rainbow Vale, Rakdos Canarium, Rakdos Guildnate, Rith's Grove, Sand Silos, Selesnya Guildgate, Selesnya Sanctuary, Simic Growth Chamber, Simic Guildgate, Tomb of Rami, because it can turn into like a really big beater, Treva's Ruins, Wintermoon Mesa, and I know like these cards looked really good, but I know how I could fit them in the deck. So we'll play a test hand here. So you can play so we'll play a Dwarven Hold, enters tapped, and then on our next turn we'll play a Rakdos Canarium to bounce the Dwarven Hold, enters tapped. And then for turn we'll play a Forsaken City, and we will cast Juju Bubble, and then play pass turn. Nightmare, that'll help us win the game later. So as you can see, I basically won at this point. Like and subscribe for more CDH.